All right, guys, today we're talking about Amazon FBA fees, my favorite subject. Not really, but in this video, I'm going to show you the free Amazon FBA fees calculator that I personally use and kind of how to properly calculate Amazon FBA fees with something that a lot of new sellers kind of miss or they're not really careful about. So I want to make sure you're as careful as possible. I know know of one guy recently who launched a brand new seller, did not calculate Amazon FBA fees. It was crazy. And he literally was selling products. His costs were higher than what he was selling them for, which is ridiculous. But so hopefully, obviously you should definitely avoid that. But hopefully, ultimately, you will know your exact profit. This will help you identify your exact profit. So everything I cover in this video, all the links, those are going to be in the description below. Got a lot of great free content like this in the description, as well as some paid content like my 17-hour Amazon FBA masterclass. Which basically takes everything I know about Amazon into one kind of online course, and that you can access for literally less than $20 in the link below. Yes, I'm for real. Less than $20 there below. And then also, if you like this video and find it helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe, and leave a comment. So it could just be, hey, if you have questions about anything you'd like to add, maybe something I missed, be sure to comment that below, and let's go ahead and get into it now. So instead of going straight to a calculator, why don't we look at Amazon fees straight from Amazon? And this is a good practice. If you're going to sell on a platform like Amazon, you should read their terms of service, their rate, their different structures for different aspects of the business, for reviews, for logistics and storage and referral fees and all that kind of stuff. So that's something you make sure you want to do anyway. But I'll go ahead and run through it quickly now. So this is the fees. So there are two kinds of Amazon FBA fees to calculate. Okay, number one is the referral fee. Okay, so referral fee, basically, the best way I can describe it is Amazon has put a ton of work and a lot of money to literally create the world's largest e-commerce marketplace ever in human history. Right, a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of money. So you pay access in the form of referral fees to that audience. Okay, basically Amazon's got this gate, and by paying referral fees, you get access to that gate. What are referral fees? In general, and this depends on the category, so be sure to check out your category specific referral fees first, and you can Google that. But in general, your referral fees are going to be 15% of your selling price, period. That all my products, they're 15% of the selling price. Most Amazon sellers, at least in this space, that focus on a very specific set or type of products, tend to fall into that category. I know computers and certain electronics and other products that are a little bit kind of weird have different referral fees, but yes, so 15% for most products. Okay, so that's easy to calculate. That's one half. The second half are storage and fulfillment fees. Okay, what are fulfillment fees? Well, we'll start with that right here. So we have the referral fee, done. Now we have fulfillment fees. Okay, what is that? So this is going to be, okay, again, referral fees is per unit. So every unit that you sold on Amazon, you're going to pay that referral fee 15%. Also, with every unit that you sell, you will also pay fulfillment fees, okay? Fulfillment fees include picking and packing, meaning, right, when workers go and, for once getting your stuff actually into Amazon's warehouse to get it stored, and then also when someone orders, then taking that and fulfilling that order, right, picking it from the shelf or from the drone or whatever, the robot, and packing it, shipping it, handling it, the customer service, if customers have questions and reach out to Amazon directly instead of you dealing with all of that, as well as any returns, which will happen. Amazon takes care of all of that. Honestly, really great structure. That's one of the great things about Amazon FBA. I've looked at other third-party logistics warehouses, and the way that Amazon structures some of their aspects, especially with the customer service aspect of this, I like it a lot. It's a really great opportunity. So this is charged per unit, and it depends, okay? So you need to look at the size of your unit. There's standard size and oversize. Generally, you will have standard size, again, unless you choose to have oversize, right? It's not just like your default is going to be standard size. What I recommend, and if you watch any of my market research, product research videos for Amazon specifically, I talk about trying to source products that are within this kind of standard size. The general rule of thumb, and again, this is passed around, and because it's so common, is maybe something you want to kind of not follow to the T, is if it fits in a shoebox, right? That's going to generally be like a standard size. So you can kind of go in here and kind of look for yourself at what these different sizes and weights entail. So yeah, so there's standard size, which is again based on the dimensions, and oversize based on the dimensions. And then within here we have based on weight. So if you have a standard size option, great. Now what's the weight of it, right? So the less it weighs, the less fees you pay, right? Really straightforward. So it's really good for you to know, well, you have to know, you should know the exact weight of your product going into Amazon's warehouse. And also keep in mind that Amazon's going to put a box around that as well. So that's going to change the dimensions and the weight of your product as well. So if it's right there on the edge, for example, I'm just making this up, but let's say it's right on the edge of that, let's say it's like 15.8 ounces, and then Amazon puts, their dimensions and whatever, their boxing, and now it goes up to 16.1. That small difference adds up to a lot of extra money that you have to pay. So just keep that in mind, okay? That's why generally I like to source much lighter, smaller products. And by the way, I know because there are higher barriers to entry in the oversized category, there's more opportunity in the sense of there's generally less competition, but it's a logistical nightmare. I know a few people that have oversized goods that are their money is constant, their capital is constantly tied up, and there's a ton of headache that goes along with it logistically and returns and all that kind of stuff. So I stay away from it personally, but there's an opportunity out there for maybe more experienced sellers. So standard size is generally what I'd recommend, kind of obviously not doing oversized, getting a product that would fit in that standard size category. And then it's broken out and you can see for yourself here. But again, I'm going to show you an automatic FBA fees calculator Chrome extension that's going to help you do all this. So you don't have to go back here. I'm going to show you the calculator. Okay. So there's, so we have referral fee, we have fulfillment fee, and lastly, our last fee is our monthly inventory storage fees. Okay. So just keep this in mind. You'll also be paying for monthly inventory again, which obviously makes sense because you're utilizing Amazon's space, their warehouse space, right? Which is valuable to them. So if you just shipped a bunch of products into Amazon and you only had to pay every time your product got sold, well, then you could just leave it there forever until they all sold out and you wouldn't care, right? So this is a way to get, for Amazon to kind of incentivize you. Well, it just makes sense, right? Incentivize you to just move inventory quickly. Otherwise, you'll start paying. And there's also what's called long-term storage fees, which are really high. Basically, if you just leave your product for months and months and months and months, a long time in Amazon's warehouse, they will start charging you a lot more for the space you're consuming because it's not worth it to them. So just something to keep that in mind. Look up oversized long-term storage fees. Something you should hopefully never get into. Just be very aware of that. But if you source a phenomenal product and it really meets a need, then you shouldn't have that problem, right? Because it'll be wildly successful. But anyway, so the referral and fulfillment fees calculated per unit sold, and the storage fees are calculated or are incurred per month. Okay. So it's per month per cubic foot. So we have the standard. So for standard size, again, that's probably what you're going to be selling in. We have from January through September, 69 cents per cubic foot. Now notice in October through December, $2.40 per cubic foot. It may not be best practice if you're an Amazon seller. This is just something to keep in mind. Trying to get started during Q4, October, November, December. If you're trying to ship product into Amazon, I may recommend that you wait until January or, before October or after December, just because if you look at 69 cents versus $2.40, it's insanely higher, right? So just keep that in mind for the Q4 season, just because there's such high demand. Amazon, creates scarcity and therefore increases the price point, right? So just something to keep in mind. And this is something a lot of sellers do not take into account. And lastly, we have the free Amazon FBA fees calculator provided by Amazon, but I'm gonna show you a better option or another great option, okay? So you can just go and, go here, compare costs. I'll go ahead and click on that now, but I'll show you another option. Click costs. You enter in so this could be if you haven't sourced a product yet, you don't have a listing created, you basically want to go and find the competitor that has the most similar weight, dimensions, basically overall product that you want to create. Hopefully it's not an identical product, right? But the most similar product that you want to sell on Amazon, you'll enter in their ASIN here, okay? And then you'll also enter in some other information, and it'll estimate your fees for you. So this is actually a really great calculator to this is a great Amazon FBA fees calculator right here. But also, and something else I really like is the AMZ Scout FBA calculator Chrome extension, okay? And I'll show you why. So this is kind of like a web app, I guess you could say. It's you have to go to the website and type everything in. But when I'm doing product research, my mind's moving quickly. I'm looking at different options and just quickly kind of getting a general estimate or general sense of potential profitability, revenue. Again, when your product is produced, so a lot of sellers, new sellers, I should say, not veteran sellers, but a lot of new sellers, when they are looking to source a new product, they'll calculate fees based on their competitors, and that's fine, right? Just to get a general sense of, hey, is this even worth kind of looking more into? Is it worth reaching out to suppliers, right? So that's great to do, but make sure that after your product is produced and created, and you have a sample. Well, this would actually be when you have a sample of your final product, right? You work with your supplier, you create a final sample that's going to be identical to your final product. Make sure you know the exact dimensions, the exact weight. Go back to the Amazon FBA fees calculator that I just showed you and make sure you enter in your information to make sure you're 100% accurate on your fees, okay? And just double check before shipping anything to Amazon. A lot of new sellers don't do that, which blows my mind. But just want to throw that out there so none of you do that. Okay, so FBA fees calculator, again, I'll have the link in the description. How you use it, go ahead and go to Amazon. Whatever product market you're interested in, go ahead and type that into the search bar. In this case, I'm interested in camera backpacks, which I actually am. If you guys have any recommendations, let me know. So camera backpack, and again, what you will do is once you've kind of have an idea of, I think this, you figured out, maybe I'll differentiate in this way based on data that I've researched, review data, keyword data. Here's how I'm going to make this type of product. It's going to be different in these ways. Try to find the existing product that's most similar just to give you kind of an estimate of profitability, okay? So we're going to go here with this Terrian camera backpack. So you want to go ahead and click on the most similar product to the one that you want to make, okay? And you'll go ahead and click in the top right corner. You can't see it here, but you click in the top right corner, run AMZ Scout Calculator, okay? So we're going to go ahead and run that after we've already downloaded this. As you can see, I've already downloaded it here. Again, by the way, this is free. I think I already mentioned that. It's a free Amazon FBA fees calculator. Okay, and then similar with what we have with the Amazon web app, right? It's a very similar functionality, but it's a lot faster. We can move much quicker. We can just quickly click a button and it uploads. So that's part of the reason I like this. It gives me some more kind of details down here. Again, don't just take this as gospel, like, this is exactly what my product's going to cost and all that. But this is a really good estimate. So obviously, you may not know your product cost yet, your shipping cost, any of that. But what's great about this is if you don't know your product cost, shipping cost, and all that, you don't have to enter that in. Where over here, right? Look, we can't see any of the data until we enter something in here, right? And we need to enter in also our shipping, our item price, etc. as things go down here, right, to know our cost. With this, it's just going to automatic with the AMZ Scout FBA calculator. We're going to automatically see it right here in this section. Okay, so we have monthly storage fees, fulfillment fees, referral fees, and estimated monthly sales doesn't really matter. So this is the Amazon FBA fees right here. Automatically just gives it to you right there. As you're doing product research, if you're using Amazon, which you likely will be using Amazon, this is a great Amazon FBA fees calculator that you can just kind of click on. Automatically kind of just see and kind of write that down, jot that down. You can kind of estimate and start playing with the numbers a little bit to see, estimate profitability with those fees, etc. Right? So I really like using this. But again, use this at first. Make sure you know your fees exactly. Maybe I would recommend using the Fulfillment by Amazon revenue calculator when you have a final sample, just to make sure your fees and everything, you know exactly what they're going to be. There's no unexpected and upsetting surprises. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys have any questions about it, if I missed anything, let me know. I try to be as comprehensive as possible. I know I can kind of go all over the place sometimes, but if you like the video, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and comment below. Say thanks or hi. That'd be awesome. And again, everything I covered, all the links, they're in the description below. Hopefully this was helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.